Hello and welcome to my video. I am doing a voiceover for the first time and I'm horribly nervous about it, but let's move past that. As you can see in this video, I'm going to be painting some fan art of Victoria the cat from the musical Cats because I'm literally obsessed. But before that, I ordered some Artisa Gouache paints, 60 of them. As you can see, it was only 30 bucks for 60, which was pretty good. I've had other gouache paints in my collection before. It was Winsor & Newton, and those are really good. I really love Winsor & Newton. They're phenomenal paints, but they're older now, and for the most part, they're still usable, but some of them were not anymore. Like, for instance, the white is basically just gloop. I literally can't use it unless I get it wet with water. Just some of them aren't really where they need to be. And I only have a select amount of them, and the 60 compared to like maybe 12 is kind of a nice change. A lot of different colors that I otherwise wouldn't be able to get, even with some mixes. So right now I'm just doing some color swatches here and just kind of testing like the paint in its purest form and then adding a little bit of water to kind of see how it looks, because a lot of people, myself included, like to use a little bit of watercolor techniques with gouache just because it looks quite nice. So like I said, right now I'm just doing some color swatches. They don't look very nice, but that's mostly because there's 60 of them and I just really wanted to get the color swatches out of the way and get to the painting of Victoria the cat. I was really excited when I got these just because there were so many and they were so nice, and just doing the swatches, it was like going from like older paints that you have to struggle to work with because of their age to brand new ones was just such a leap, and then they're so nice. The Artisa gouache colors, I believe they're of the cheaper side in compared to a lot of other gouache paints, but honestly I like them a lot. They're really nice. They blend really well and they're easy to work with. I think the only thing that I disliked was that some of the colors on the tubes were a little bit misleading. For instance, one of the colors, it says it's like a ballerina pink, and on the tube it has kind of a very dusty lavender color with a bit of pink to it, but when I did a color swatch, it was much closer to like a flesh toned skin color. So, but to be honest, out of 60, I think I only had like maybe 5 or so of colors that were misleading in that kind of way. The rest of them were fairly accurate. And you'll also see here, I don't know how well you can see it on the screen, but it also comes with a bunch of metallic colors, which were quite nice. I've never worked with metallics before, so I was really excited to give that a shot. And here we are, finally starting the tutorial of painting Cats fan art, because this is where my life has led me. I'm actually kind of more of a recent fan of Cats. One of my best friends was actually in Cats when she was a younger child, and so she was very excited when I got super into it, and it was basically a snowballing experience, and that the film was coming out and it was just atrocious looking, and thus I had to see it. But before I did, I saw the 1998 stage filmed version. It's basically they filmed the stage production of it, and I loved it. I thought it was really great. I enjoyed it a lot. It's a lot of nonsense. It's very silly, but a lot of really talented people doing talented things, and I enjoyed it. I liked it for what it was. And then I saw the movie 3 times for some reason, and it's just I basically am just, here I am in literal cat's hell. But I'm obviously going for the stage production for this fan art because that's the superior design. And I ended up doing Victoria, even though my favorite characters are actually the Rum Tum Tugger and Mr. Mistopheles, of course. They are phenomenal. But I find Victoria is one of the easier characters for me to work with. I don't know why, I just find her very easy to draw. So I decided to go for her. And it was pretty funny when I was painting this, I was using a lot of very light colors, as you can see, very, very light pinks and whites and stuff and off-whites and whatnot, because she's a white cat. And as I was painting it, all I can think about was how this was going to be a literal nightmare to edit on my computer. And it was. I'm still kind of editing it to this day just to make sure everything looks kind of nice, but it's very, very hard to edit pictures that are already very light in their colors, and even worse so when it's all white. It's just very bright, and it's your eyes get a little too used to the colors and stuff, and it's just really bad. You'll notice throughout the video that I struggle a little bit with some shading and trying to, I didn't want to just paint her white. I wanted to give her kind of an off-white, that way it looked a little bit better. And I go between warm tones with shading her to more blue tones, and I go back and forth with it a lot, and I eventually settle on the blue tones. I think they looked a lot better, and I think it just suited the picture and the character a lot more than the warmer tones. So for the rest of this video, a lot of it is just going to be a lot of me struggling with shading, and a lot of me trying to make the white paint work, and just a lot of covering things up and trying to make sure that the pencil lines get erased, which again, it can be really hard when you're working with such light colors. But I honestly had a really good time with this piece. It was just a lot of fun to finally be able to use a white paint in literally any kind of productive way. Because like I said earlier, I couldn't use my Winsor & Newton after a while because it just expired, and it was just, I just couldn't use it at all. So it was really liberating to be able to do this piece with majority of it being white or lightening up other colors and some such. So here we are, I'm doing the face, which was really hard because I needed to paint her face white, but I also had to like go over all the markings and such, and had to remember what I wanted to do. Oh, and this is another part, her hair. I initially wanted to give her kind of a platinum white with a little bit of yellow to her hair, and I did not like how it looked as I did it. I tried to make it work, and it did not look the way I wanted it to look. I felt like it was just too warm compared to the rest of her body and the pink and stuff, and it clashed. And you see me here trying to do the warmer shading, and I ended up hating it. I don't think it looked very good, so I end up going over the shading and the hair and giving it a much more cooler look, and honestly I think it looked a lot better. I also went for green eyes for Victoria. I don't think any of the cats really have canon eye colors, but I thought green was really nice. I think a lot of white cats tend to have either really, really blue eyes or really, really green, and I just think green was really a fun one to do. So here I am trying to get rid of all those lines. It's really hard to do when you're using just a very white color. But I think I managed. I think I did a decent job at it. Eventually, I lose a little bit of footage just at the very end because my camera overheated, but honestly, it ended up being a blessing in disguise because it was just a lot of detail work that I had to do, which required me to get extremely close to the camera, or not to the camera, excuse me, to the painting, because I had to get like real in there to make sure her eyebrows looked nice and her face and everything looked good, and it was just a lot of fixing up small things. But here we are. I basically went over all the shading with more of a blue tone, and I'm doing the same thing here with the hair because I hated the yellow of it, so I just went over it entirely with white and added different tones for shading. It was a lot of work because it was just a lot of going over things and trying to make sure things look nice, and kind of relearning how to use gouache because again my ones were just so old that I think I just kind of forgot how paints are supposed to work. And it was a lot of fun. I really liked it. I think the Artisas did a really good job. I think they're a really good, inexpensive brand. I mean, they're no Winsor & Newton or anything, but they get the job done. They came with a lot of colors for a cheap price. So, if anyone sees this, why not, right? Just $30 for 60 paints. Like, that's pretty nice. Anyway, we're heading towards near the end of the video, which again is where my camera was like, no more filming. So right here, it's just me doing a little bit of the face before my camera dies. And like I said, I end up going in and doing a lot of detail work afterwards. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, or whoever stumbled upon it. You know, this is my first time doing a voiceover. I hope it wasn't horrifically awkward. You know, it's one of those things that I'll just have to keep doing to get better at, and, you know, hopefully I'll not feel so uncomfortable about it. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. What do YouTubers say at the end of these things? Like, comment, subscribe, whatever. I don't really care that much, but, you know, if you like it, you know, let me know. That's always nice to hear. I'm hoping that maybe I'll make this into a print and sell it in my Etsy shop. But until then, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't checked out Cats, I recommend it. And if you've only seen the 2019 movie, dear God, do yourself a favor and listen to the 1998 movie. Alrighty, that's it from me. Bye, guys.